devastating, it's painful, a punch to the gut.
Motivated to keep on killing Israelis. Such a difficult time for the entire nation, the eve of what is going to be a traumatic day. The bodies of 4 civilian hostages murdered in terror captivity will be returned to Israel. That confirmation coming through just a short while ago. All part of this phase of the deal, seeing 33 hostages freed, not all of them alive. And of course, the deal sees the convicted Palestinian terrorists I just listed there freed from Israeli jails, including the terrorist who murdered your brother Ari in 2018. He's set to walk free soon. Cannot imagine the range of emotions right now. What are you feeling right now?
On a personal level, there's no sugarcoating it. It's devastating. It's painful. It's a punch to the gut. But on a national level, we have to do whatever we have to do, whatever we can do to bring back our hostages. We have to reunite these families with their loved ones. And we have to bring back the bodies so that they can be buried in dignity. That's pillars of Judaism. And there's no avoiding that. It's, what we have to do right now. It's what's on the table. It's a horrible deal, but it's also a beautiful deal because this speaks volumes to the value system of the Jewish people. We do everything to bring our people back.
Every life counts. That is the crucial value. And of course, this terrorist gets to go home to his family now, and Ari's family, including his children, have to process all of this while also knowing that more hostages are coming home and will be reunited with their loved ones. So incredibly difficult. How are they all doing? How is Ari's family right now?
Ari's family are a bunch of heroes. His wife's a hero, his kids are a hero, my parents are heroes, and strong family. We all, we feel the pain, but we also recognize that these families deserve to be reunited. And it's a dissonance that many of us experience, in this conflict as a whole. It's these conflicted emotions, and this deal is just another example of that. But seeing those families reunited is one of the most emotional and beautiful things I've ever witnessed. And at the same time, it's terribly painful to imagine this terrorist who took my brother walking freely.
One cannot imagine. And of course, Yahya Sinwar was one of the 1,000 Palestinian prisoners freed in the Gilad Shalit deal back in 2011. We know too well what happened next, the architect of October 7th. How worried are you that these free terrorists, whether in Gaza or abroad, are even more emboldened right now or motivated to keep on killing Israelis? Your sense?
Well, there's no question. I mean, these people are deeply indoctrinated from age 0 to try to murder as many Jews as possible. And that's not going anywhere. I think I can't depend or hope that they won't return to terror. I do depend on our leadership and our security forces to make sure to try to prevent that. And I want to believe we learned our lesson from the Shalit deal and from October 7th. And I hope and pray we took precautions, knowing full well that, as soon as they get out of Israeli prisons, they're going to return to terror. My understanding is that the terrorist who murdered my brother is going to be exiled, deported from Israel. I don't have exact confirmation as to where, but, again, we're working under the assumption that they're going back to terror. That's the assumption, and that's probably what's going to happen. And we're just going to have to do our part to make sure that these people we're releasing now are not going to murder more Jews.
Certainly such a huge worry. As you say, one only hopes that the necessary precautions have been taken. You mentioned, of course, Ari's family is a family of heroes. Ari, of course, is a hero. Talk to us very briefly about the legacy he leaves, not only for his family, but for the entire nation, especially right now, the nation grappling with grief and hope and wanting to build and look somehow to a future after all this pain and darkness.
Well, Ari spent his life saving lives and changing lives, and he did the same when he was murdered. He saved a life in his last breath, and the way I look at this deal is he's continuing to save lives, and these hostages are coming back because of Ari, so he continues to save lives. His legacy was a zero-tolerance policy for lies, for fake narratives that people like to spread about Israel, whether it's, calling it the West Bank versus Judea and Samaria, talking about a Palestinian state that never existed, and on and on. He just had zero tolerance for lies. He understood that words matter, something we're learning today the hard way, and he didn't tolerate it.